Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacast, a Monday novice fight with me, host Imperial Dane, featuring today a 2 versus 2 on a Duclair. Yes, indeed, Duclair. And of course, there's going to be some rather novice stuff, so if you are faint of heart, do please avert your eyes and ears, and probably don't watch this episode at all. But for those, of course, looking for some instruction, this is probably the place to go. We shall be watching Tigertamer 2222 fighting alongside FogxLarsen, fighting for the Allies, fighting for a combined Anglo-Yanko task force of the 1st Infantry Division as support by some Brits. And that was Itsadoozy fighting alongside Vegetablelasagna, fighting for the Axis, fighting for the Wehrmacht's 2nd Panzer Division. And let's note what's going on. Both going for Wehrmacht quarters, of course, not really a lot to go for. Arriving on the way, 2 engineers start. Truck quickly packing up, lieutenant out. So far, so good. And clearly, I mean, this is pretty much the spot where most British players actually is up. Right here in the centre, pretty much the dominant spot. Close to victory point, and can also largely, well, of course, used, dominate a large part of the map. So, there you go. Pioneers advancing down here. MG42 out there and an MG42 out there. Again, this sort of support unit start, again, something you have to be careful about, and again, not something I would at all recommend novices going for. Again, I would always recommend infantry starting out for, again, since they're more maneuverable, a lot less likely to get outmaneuvered, and of course generally just a bit more flexible, and thus a bit more novice friendly, in fact. But there we go, and sniping the gunner right away, quickly forcing another one to pick it up. How rude. Pioneers charging in. MD opening up on the British, and he in fact retreats rather swiftly despite being in heavy cover. Of course, the lieutenant on the other hand was a bit more poorly placed. Does he make it? Does Lieutenant Jones make it out of there alive? Germans fighting up here, quickly rushing up to the next point as Americans are making a penetration. The MG42 moving in as well. British base already there, and there we go. He's actually packing up the truck right there and then ordering another retreat, thus forcing them away all the back to the entry point for any off-map units. Looks like an engineer squad went down for Tigertamer. How tragic. And there we go, rushing straight into the position where hopefully ought to have known there was MG42s. In fact, another one set up there, though, to cover the same area as perhaps less useful. A bit of a waste of good MG42 firepower. Though having a backcourt support is not bad. Mortar emplacement going up. That could perhaps bombard the Wehrmacht positions of the 2nd Panzer Division. We are seeing a bike right here coming under fire from riflemen. Again, bike MGs, sort of again stuff I would more recommend the more professional players, the ones who sort of know how to move the units use. Another MG42 again about the static fighting force. Although there we go, infantry out from that was a doozy. Not a bad idea to move in the bike, though might have also wanted to close in the MG42s. In fact, in this case, you know, being a bit more aggressive instead of passive. Sadly, again, and that's usually also what you get with people like these on the novice level, when they go for a lot of MG42s, they are rather passive, they're not aggressive, and they don't really know how to really take chances and sort of exploit and push, which usually ends up to rather detrimental to their cause. There we go, actually see some folks guys pushing in. MG42 actually moving up, my goodness, not bad, but a bit too late. And now they might risk, of course, getting bombarded by that British mortar. And these folks guys are out in the open. Again, something you want to generally be careful about. You know, you want cover, not nothing. And of course, he's trying to do some damage to these chaps, but of course, he's forgetting the reconnaissance section. There we go, retreating, not really achieving much, a bit of a waste. MG42 should retreat now. I mean, it's moving much too close to the mortar. MG42 starting in advance up by Tigertamer. Of course, here another problem arises for Tigertamer. He's in fact spreading out his attention too far. I mean, he's going to be here and there. I mean, that's going to be rather difficult for him to handle. And again, that's also something, you know, a bit for the novices. Again, I mean, you shouldn't sort of try to sort of really grasp, chew off more than you can, but in terms of attention, attention is quite important. And when you're doing like this, you can easily end up losing grasp of attention and thus end up losing units. It's something you have to be really careful about. So I would certainly recommend, you know, on the more novice level, you sort of just stick on one side, one area, and then sort of work your way up from that. Slowly, more and more you can sort of chew off, but still small bites. Initially, don't, you know, try to sort of, again, Oh, I can command the entire battlefield on a 2 versus 2, which is a rather large map, easily. And then, of course, you end up losing 3 squads in a second because, again, you weren't paying attention. You couldn't pay attention. So, again, important. Of course, now our troops here getting hammered by MG5, though, of course, he's paying attention there. We know, though, already a rifleman squad sort of not doing anything. He does get it moving, but again, units not standing about. Again, he could have just queued up 1 unit, again, using the tactical map, and then sort of queued all of it up. That did not happen. Rather large British infantry force. Bunker going down for that was a doozy. But again, nothing to protect the bunker except the squad of Volksgrenadiers. Rather undermanned. Bike down. Bunker might in fact go down. Unless the Pioneer somehow managed to finish it. Cancel it? No, he did not cancel it, I fear. Well, we can find out. No, he did not. So that is 150 manpower wasted. Again, you know, also be sure to have some things protecting your bunkers. You know, cancel it when they're coming under fire right away. Now, of course, Vegetablelasagna is, of course, quickly moving about, trying to sort of contain everything. He was quick enough to retreat the sniper when faced with the threat of a reconnaissance sniper sniping him. A reconnaissance section. Field support truck arriving, not bad. More riflemen on the way, though I think Tigertamer might want to consider getting a supply up, perhaps going for some vehicles himself, or either some upgrades for his riflemen. Also, a medic station or a casualty cleaning station with all that infantry. I mean, we're talking 3 infantry sections and 4 rifleman squads. Medic, bunker, casualty cleaning station, both would actually be able to pick up a lot of wounded and, of course, ensure some nice anti-attritional work. Vegetablelasagna heading into the centre. Holding up here as well with some pioneers, some with flamethrowers. MD4 coming in. There's still not a lot of infantry for that. Was a doozy. Cuff centre going down. Both, in fact, but nothing to really protect against armor. And again, setting up again. Also, be very careful about setting up your units out in the open, support units. That is, I mean, they can still take a lot of damage. Just note down to one man, sort of 1,000-yard stairs. As both of his comrades are dead. You know, be careful about this. They can take damage before you actually manage to completely pin the unit. So that is important. Again, you try to place your heavy machine guns and all that in heavy cover. Again, cover matters. In particular, if the squad attacking actually has a lot more firepower, like say some BARs, Bren guns or something like that. I mean, that could really end up with, oh dear, I lost the heavy machine gun. How sad. Volksgrenadiers again moving forwards. He's got 2 squads up. That is not bad. Sniper moving about. He's got 2 snipers. Less good, perhaps. Riflemen could spread out here and try to sort of secure as many points as possible. Perhaps go for some key points to harass. A bit of resource being flowed here, and we are seeing supply up. We're seeing airborne as well, and a recon run, giving a good view of the German base. I suppose also keeping an eye out for snipers or packs. Troops are being forced back by the Volksgrenadiers with that 21. Rifleman still not pushing again. What happens when you're again trying to focus on too many spots? His riflemen are just standing and they're doing nothing, which is also generally bad. And Larsen needs to get his bloody ass moving. Medics moving in the wounded. Medic bunker up. That is good. Lots of pioneers rushing out with veterancy. 3 snipers. I find that excessive. And of course, if you lose that somehow, I mean, that's pretty much 1,000 manpower right down the drain. So not really what I'd recommend at all. But of course, he's just silly old me. Captain out. We might be seeing a steward out, in fact. And of course, here's a fun thing. Neither of the 2 players are currently prepared for a steward to come in, perhaps even firing off some canister rounds. That could prove to be a huge problem for the Germans. In fact, let's go look at FogxLarsen. And we are, in fact, seeing a steward light tank on the way, which, of course, could be a problem for those Germans. There go 3 snipers moving in. Already veterancy 2. Sniping away like a vicious sniper squad. Riflemen need to retreat. Leave the positions. Abandon them, men. The Krauts are advancing rather accurately. Might be losing a rifleman squad. No. Looks like Larry managed. No, never mind. Forrest Gump got shot in the back of his neck. There shall not be a sequel. called for. Scout makes it out of Normandy. Nope. Stuart rolls in, and of course, note. Nothing to actually stop it. Oh, there's a pack-pat building blocks. And he's actually uncloaking his snipers. And the Stuart, of course, is going to think, oh, that's a nice, tasty target. And of course, if he gets... No, retreat them, you... No, canister shot. Why did he insist on uncloaking them right in front of a Stuart? Again, I mean... 1, don't blow up your snipers. 2, don't uncloak them in front of a bloody Stuart. Nice chance taken right there by FogxLarsen. That's just, again, 1,000 manpower up the drain, crippling the Germans ever so viciously. Pack, though. Get the Stuart out of there. Get it out of there. Get it out of there. More shots hitting it. Panzerfaust could even as well. I fear that Stuart might be lost. No. Escapes. And now the Americans, the Allies, in fact, are securing a large part of the map, making good progress up here. Of course, mines, again, would be nice. Mines, Minen. Veterans, you free up for support units. Again, be careful that, of course, his pioneers will be tough, but he just lost 3 snipers. And he needs some infantry, some bloody boots on the ground. Which, again, is rather what allowing the Allies to sort of secure a lot of the territory, because, again, there's only one to really provide the infantry, and that was a doozy. In fact, let's go look at Vegetablelasagna, who's down to 2 heavy machine guns, a bike, and 3 pioneer squads. Of course, they're all veterans free, so they're going to have some advantages in terms of toughness, but it will be a bit debatable, of course. There we go, charging in. Interesting enough, FogxLarsen has not upgraded any of his infantry. No rifle grenades, which I think could work nicely. No Bren guns either. I mean, if you're playing the British, you would usually benefit greatly from upgrading your infantry section in some manner. Sadly, that seems to have not happened. Casualty station up. That is good. Rather than much to consider. And we're seeing a T-17 rolling in. Interesting move. In fact, he's getting several. Doing in a bit of harassment. There has to be careful, though. Panzerfaust on it, of course. Get that T-17 out of there. Get those rifles out of there, Tigertamer. Oh, dear. Rifle squad down. Mortar round. Get some poor Kraut. T-17 needs to get out of there, Tigertamer. Get it out of there, man. You're just going to get Panzerfaust and wasted. And there we go. Again, they're not tanks. Again, armored cars are not tanks. They should be used swiftly, mobily. Strafing run, not really well used either. Careful with stuff like that. Pioneers moving, T-17 moving in some counter movements against those nasty pioneers. Matching man's quite a few kills, I wager. There we go. Not a bad idea to send in there. Of course, T-17 armor cars such are great for flank work. Sort of keep your opponent on his toes and sort of harass there. Not again to sort of charge into the horde of your opponent and do some damage. That's not really where they are suited the best, I would argue. Another push here. Human wave attacks are not really what works best. Pioneer squad went down. In fact, the German base is currently rather open, so move it in, Tigertamer. Keep that armored car moving. But again, he's probably again paying attention elsewhere. And armored car lost. Again, without doing a lot of damage. So again, that is essentially 2 armored cars just wasted. Again, pay attention, don't spread out. In fact, I suspect Tigertamer has in fact lost an awful lot of units. I think he's down to basically just 2 infantry squads at the moment. Again, don't spread out your attention more than you can easily handle, but get them out of there. Strafing run, not really achieving much. But again, now the pressure is going to be all on, well, FogxLarsen's shoulders. But again, attention, attention, attention as well. I mean, I don't really have to sort of feel like I had to say more like this before this game. Because, I mean, the problem is, I think, for Tigertamer, he's trying to keep attention to more things they can actually pay attention to. Which, again, is basically leading to a lot less effectiveness than they actually ought to get. And also, again, you know, lost himself 2 armored cars without really doing much with them. Again, a lot of wasted resources. Careful with that tank, but so far the reaction from the Germans seems a bit sparing. Rapidly fighting the Volksgrenadiers, who will win this rather close fight. Again, Rifleman standing up out. Again, lack of attention. No, Grenadiers moving in the north. He's actually gotten a few, probably wants some reconstituted. And there we go, artillery going in. And registered artillery barrage. Rifleman needs to retreat. Again, oh, he lost another squad. I mean, Tigertamer's unit preservation is horrible. He ought to be treating him a lot faster than that. But again, I also think it's partly due to the fact, again, he's not paying attention. He's chewing off more, biting off more than he can chew. And again, that is an important lesson. I mean, you need to sort of figure out how you play and then play to your strengths there. And if your strength is, you know, not necessarily handling a lot of units over across a lot of fronts, then don't play like that. You're not going to... I mean, then start off small and expand, you know, train yourself, but don't, you know, expect to sort of be awesome right away. Again, like that. Will we be seeing another cancer round? Strafing run gets one of the snipers. Another sniper could be going down, though. Or a Panzerfaust could, of course, get it. Oh dear, destroyed engine. Looks like the sniper will survive. And again, not necessarily good a way to just keep spamming snipers. Again, he's largely relying on support units, but he's also losing one. I mean, Vegetablelasagna is also a bit of a problematic play because, again, he's lacking pushing power, he's lacking sort of more mobile firepower. In fact, again, just like the British player so far holding up the Allied force, I mean, that was Itsadoozy so far doing most of the fighting for the Axis. Again, also important. Artillery going in against the bunker. Veterans, you free up for the infantry. Still no armor, which could perhaps not be a help. No armor command track, though. No tank depot. Again, a lot of resources basically getting wasted up for Tigertamer, of course, meaning he's never really going to gain a much larger force. Which is definitely a huge problem for him. Now he's got Browning automatics.
Our pioneers now have access to heavy flak weaponry.
And again, if he just bothered with the medic station, of course, he might also have helped a bit there, and, you know, keeping his force somewhat intact. I mean, again, if you do also lose your units, again, getting a medic station or two would also be a sort of aid to sort of help you sort of negate that set of heavy losses. But I'm standing out here but in front of the MG4, so something you have to be careful about. And there, of course, the British advancing. Pack decrewed. Could, of course, be recruit. Sappers with Piats. Mortar rounds flying in. And MG4's the way. Oh, hit mine, but get that pack. Why did you retreat then? And now they're just retreating for no apparent reason. Instead of, for example, trying to recruit that pack. And another medic bunker up. That's definitely not a bad idea. Again, to help keep the force intact. Goliath's out. Defensive up for vegetable. No, that was a doozy. I don't know what the vegetable's gone for. And by the way, a proper lasagna is one with meat in it. Sniper reeling himself. Again, veterans and free snipers do get an increased rate of fire. Mortar against here. Could get the pioneers. Again, no lieutenant to support the infantry force. Again, also means it's rather much more exposed. Pioneers down. But again, you know, do ensure you have a lieutenant for your infantry. Of course, they can move properly. Steward moving in. Priest arriving. But there's nothing to really stop it. Because again, the 17-pounder gun is not, you know, far enough to actually be able to protect. And the buffers also. Interesting enough. Bunker almost down. Of course, the priest could add in. We're seeing airborne now getting called in by Tigertamer. Though so far no tigers to actually tame. Grenadiers getting quickly surrounded. Of course, veteran feet. Oh, grenade! Oh, heavy losses right there. Great infantry moving forward. FogxLarsen could actually go down. And he still hasn't really upgraded any of his infantry squads. What a waste! And of course, now retreat again. Goliath moving in and, oh, does kill a few Brits. Pioneers moving in but getting blasted by the Buffos. Brits getting hammered. Piat dropped. Oh dear, and Sapper squad in fact lost. Again, not really the most proper placement of the entire defensive positions. And again, he should have had some armor. Really, if they had gotten either of them had gotten some early armor early on, they might actually have stood better a chance as well. And there we go, Stu taking some hits, but I mean, just right there, FogxLarsen got absolutely gutted. Again, unit composition matters. Placement of emplacement also matters, you know. Not this far ahead where you can't protect your headquarters command track, which is the most furthest far away point. Not really solid, not really good at all. I mean, do try to sort of think up your defenses and sort of how they work. Battle phase up for that was a doozy. Let's go. Never mind. And of course, Vegetablelasagna has now gone blitzkrieg and is just spamming Stu 42s. Interestingly enough, line for engagements up here. MG42 quickly getting outflanked. Oh, set up the wrong position. could get killed,
We are losing
which would definitely be a huge boon to the Americans. Nope, gets away. Oh well. Airborne advancing with recoilless rifles in hand. Looks like Tigertamer actually got a make station, but again, why so far away? Getting closer to the front lines, but of course still well protected, like for example here, but again, not far away from the front lines. There's a certain range where medics will work from. But again, this is not really good. In fact, it's bad. Strafing around going, oh nice, blob which could be hit. Why did he call in a reconnaissance run? That was absolutely silly. Artillery going in here against the supposed position of the bunker, hitting a pack. Unit down. Grenadiers advancing. No suppressive fire. Could have helped a bit here, but again, a strafing run would also work. Anti-tank gun up. Needs to just retreat. Retreat! Oh, Rifleman squad lost again. I think he's paying attention to things elsewhere. Not where the main fight is, of course. And now strafing up, but again, much too late now. Simply too late. Oh, Tigertamer again. Work to what you can actually pay attention to and don't extend your... extend your attention, but of course also time your strafing rounds a bit better. Otherwise, I mean, you could really have done a lot of damage. Instead, you suffered a lot of damage. And again, 2 rifleman squads gone in the blink of an eye. Again, unit preservation really needs to be worked on. And also, again, you know when to fire, know when to run. It is an incredibly important thing to do. And that definitely was, again, the point to run when you're facing off against 4 veterans and 3 squads, 2 of them grenadiers. Infantry section under fire. He still hasn't bothered upgrading his infantry section with rifle grenades or Bren guns. Either of those would again also have been a huge help against the Germans. Goliath sneaking in. That's nicely done there by Vegetablelasagna. Stu's moving in there. Let's return to FogxLarsen. Who still hasn't got an armoured command truck. Something's burning, I can hear. Fascinating. More artillery fire. Grenadiers moving in with the BAR secured from the Americans. FogxLarsen here running into a bit of nasty rifleman fire. Flamethrowers moving in. Veterans infantry again. Nasty stuff, and the airborne are quickly run off. Just keep pushing, there's nothing to stop you, in fact. Mighty pioneers. Stu 42s could also move in fact, somewhat. 50 caliber on the priest actually opens up. Anti-tank gun is going to get make short work off, I fear. Rifleman trying to move in, getting grenaded a bit by the grenadiers. The grenadiers get run off. And now direct heavy artillery from the Stu 42s. Advancing on the headquarters, sniper and support as well. Again, where's the armor? It is not there. If only the Allies had bothered with a bit of armor. Sadly, that never happened. Trying to counter the assault guns with a bit of artillery and seems to save their ass for now. But again, not really a strong performance by the Allies so far. Slightly unfortunate unit composition again. Extending their attention. And generally poor unit preservation by Tigertamer. And also not really well planned out defense right here by FogxLarsen. Really poor in fact. Totally doing a bit here against the assault guns. Creeping barrage. Infantry section reform. That's a minor blessing. But again, no lieutenant to really help the infantry, which again is a major miss. But also again, the fact there's no upgrades for the infantry at all. No rifle grenades, no Bren guns. If he again had gone for that, he might have done a lot better. And by a lot, I mean a lot. And there's also something dropped right here. MG42, can they secure it? Or is it trying to? Bit hard to say with this sort of position. Oh, it can be secured. Still holding 2 of the victory points. That's something for the Allies. Moving up here against the Grenadiers. Holding out against the medic bunker.
It has 300 points remaining.
Could in fact try and knock it down. That could work. FogxGrenadiers courageously moving through the artillery barrage, being pushed forwards by some Grenadiers apparently. Stu's now fully veterancy free. Panzer Command up. Satchel charge, pushing the Grenadiers a bit ahead. Again, cover though. Tigertamer, use cover. For the far line up, and there we go. The Stu's are pushing forward with a vengeance. And again, rather short range artillery fire attempt to block this off. Armour command truck finally, but a bit bloody late. A desperate fight here, which in fact results in another Grenadier squad getting reformed. Oh dear. Not really working out for the Allies. Again, you know, also try to be careful about fighting around like this. Then you really need to be able to finish off. Otherwise, again, they can just reinforce faster than you. Plus, get those wounded back to the medic bunker quickly. Headquarters command truck down, and utter disaster. And again, no armor. In fact, now he's going for a tank. Now they're both way too late going for anything like that, which could help them. Which again is not really encouraging. And now the only thing they really have to sort of try and stem the tide is an anti-tank gun and a 17-pounder gun. Which is also an anti-tank gun, but a lot larger and a lot more mobile. I mean, an anti-tank gun as big as this actually needed a sort of tractor or something like that to actually pull it around. I mean, the largest anti-tank gun which could still be moved around by infantry was the Pak 40. And even that was a bit of a bother. And he's getting a Staghound of all the things. He needs Cromwells at the moment, at least to stem the tide of the Stews. Not a Staghound. Casualty station down, strafing run again, getting up for the Grenadiers. Let's go look at Tigertamer. More artillery going in there, 17-pounder guns doing what they can. Recoilless rifles blasting away. Grenadiers suppressed, pinned. FogxGrenadiers following up in the second wave. Stu out of commission. Flak going down, more artillery against it. Oh, getting the flak! Almost getting the bunker, which was actually an empty bunker to provide protection. Panzer Command has still yet to see usage. Why build one if you're not going to use it? German infantry of the 2nd Panzer Division pushed away. Central victory point is yet to be secured. Barely any fuel though for Tigertamer. Both supply upgrades are up though. That's a plus. That's a plus. At least he got that right. Which is something. Oh, poo. And now the Brits are actually recruiting the anti-tank gun, but the Stu's advancing. Will it be enough though? Move in the stack and at least to sort of try and block it and hit him from the rear. Tiger arrives from Vegetablelasagna. That is pretty much going to be game over with a vengeance. Another priest, but again they need something to deal with the armor a bit more proficiently. Not more artillery. FogxGrenadiers moving up. Panzer Command actually getting something. That's interesting, but again, priests and Staghounds are not going to stop a Tiger. I'm sorry to say so. And there we go. 25-pounder gun is lost. Anti-tank gun lost. Anti-tank gun getting recruited by the heroic recon. And probably going to get sorted out in a short moment. No. They keep firing as the Tiger moves in on them. How heroic. And a Panzer IV actually arrives now from... That was a doozy just as the anti-tank gun vanishes in smoke and flame. Riflemen just need to retreat. Staghound now for some reason actually decides to move into the fight. Riflemen just need to retreat. Firefly out for FogxLarsen is a minor blessing. Staghound out of control. Not wildly surprised there. A victim of the Flugzeugabwehrkanone. What's that Tiger doing? I have no idea. Stack out a nice bonfire for the Volksgunners to warm their fingers about. Firefly moves up and misses the Panzer IV. More artillery. Lots of artillery, in fact. Now we're seeing Hellcats out. Finally something slightly armoured. Now again, a bit late. Could have been worked against all those stews, but against a Tiger and a Flak and all that, that's a little less effective. Retreat the riflemen, Tigertamer, retreat! There we go.
We are losing a munitions
So the Volksgunners might get them. No. So now it's time for the Volksgunners to actually get out of there. They are faced off with a much too large British force. Some engineers trying to sneak about, not quite succeeding. And it has returned to that was a doozy, but Vegetablelasagna. Engineers getting pummeled. Riflemen moving in from the north. Not really the best solution to charge right at two Veterancy Fleet's dudes. Even had sticky bombs. Due to the armoured skirts which Veterancy Fleet gives, these sticky bombs were not really able to do a lot of damage to the stews. I mean, it's largely a wasted effort. Lots of artillery going in here on the position. But not going to do a lot, I fear. Airborne crude anti-tank gun. Hellcat rolls in. But of course the Grenadiers arrive. Tiger finishes off the job. And the anti-tank gun is swiftly dealt with by the Grenadiers. Now the Fireflies left, but not really in a good fighting condition. Another anti-tank gun apparently has been... No, that's a pack actually, never mind. Medic station more or less gone. Flamethrowers burning away, and there we go. Firefly gone. MG42 caught on its own. And gone more or less.
Losing a sector.
I mean, at this stage, again, it's game over. That's nothing really the Allies can do. They are just getting absolutely massacred. Getting suppressed by the MG42s, and there we go, sticky bomb. And note how little it does. That is how little damage a sticky bomb does on a Veterancy Fleet stew. I mean, it didn't even damage the engine. So again, I mean, if you're having a fear of a lot of sticky bombs or something like that, I mean, yes, gets Veterancy Fleet, or of course, bazookas with college rifles on the field against Veterancy Fleet for your armor. Now the Axis are in fact pulling back. While the Allies are captured in their tiny little fortress right here. The trees forming some not really formidable walls to hold out the German invaders. Or something. Minor progress made in the northern hills. Could try and sneak in to take this victory point, but they will not really be able to hold it for long, I suspect. And more MG42s being sent again. Vegetablelasagna has absolutely no infantry. He insists on support units, and in a manner that is, I would say, most depressing. Engineers here getting pummeled by the support gunners for the MG42 Veterancy 3. Two Panzer IVs going to hit the flank. Pack uncovered. But the Panzer IVs continue. Victory point in the north secured. Pioneer stopped. GG from FogxLarsen. GG all around. You are very good. Well, I wouldn't say he was very good. In fact, I would say there were a lot of flaws, but there we go. Game over. A loss to the 1st Infantry despite British support. A victory for the 2nd Panzer Division, of course. What are the lessons of this match? Well, again, you know, try not to overextend your attention more than you actually can. I mean, that's something actually to train on. Unit preservation again. Know when to fight, know when to retreat. Several cases here. Tigertamer definitely needed to retreat earlier on. For the British, you know, ensure you have a lieutenant to support your infantry. Otherwise, they're going to move bloody slow. And again, also ensure they get weaponry. I mean, again, he failed to upgrade with rifle grenades or Bren guns, which really could have helped him. Another failure, of course. And again, partly though for Tigertamer due to the fact he kept losing infantry and had to replace it. But there was no real taking up, no real attempted armor, for example. Which again, if he'd gone for Shermans and perhaps a tank, he might have had a slightly larger chance. But again, there's a lot of waste, of course, for the Axis. I mean, the problem was partly, again, too many support units for Vegetablelasagna, which rather crippled him early on. And rather meant, for the larger part, that was a doozy. He had to do most of the work until he could call in a lot of stews, which again, the Allies were not prepared for. I mean, a lot of things like that. So, there you go. Do hope you enjoyed this game. Do hope you learned something from this Monday Novice fight. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying